Razak, good evening from here. Can you hear me? On Facebook. You are free to join us from wherever you are. Thank you for joining us today. This is a very amazing program put together by GYMHA. GYMHA is an organization that advocates for mental health among young people, and we also look at ways to help young people to fix their mental health issues and how they can also cope with stress and everything that comes like a mental health challenge in life. My name is Mary Ozuruonye Agholor, and I'm your regular moderator on this show, GYMHA Mind Matter Show. And I'm so happy to bring you this amazing episode again. And today on the show, we are going to be looking at a very important topic about how we can tackle mental health issues among youth. We are going to be analyzing 5 ways to tackle youth mental health issues. 5 major ways to tackle youth mental health issues. And today we have very amazing, knowledgeable, and well experienced panelists joining us on the show this evening to analyze this topic with us. Although we still have some of them who are going to join us later, but I am happy to introduce to you someone who is already here, someone who is already here to support us on the show this evening. And I'm pleased to introduce Mohammed Zubar. Mohammed Zubar is a PhD holder. He is also an assistant professor at special education, Faculty of Education, Jamia Islamic in New Delhi, India. He is a very knowledgeable and experienced educationist, someone who will be taking us through some of the things we need to know on how we can tackle mental health issues among youth. Good evening from Nigeria, Professor Mohammed.
Good evening, Mary. I am fine. What about you? Here it's night. Here it's midnight. In India, it's midnight, so it's 12 a.m. night. Hello.
What time is it now over there?
Your voice is breaking. You are not properly audible, Miss Mary. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Hello. Am I audible to
Professor,
you?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, so digging into the topic of the day proper, Professor, based on your experience in special education and dealing with youth, young people in the university as a lecturer, a PhD holder that you are, I would like you to take us through some 5 major ways you believe we can help young people to tackle mental health issues.
Actually, for mental health issues, firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to the, on for the organizers for organizing such a good event to discuss on such issues, which is very essential nowadays, because everybody is facing this kind of mental health issues in their lives, and because life is very busy nowadays. I am Mohammad Zubair, Assistant Professor of Special Education, Learning Disabilities from Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi, India. So, as you ask me, what are the important ways to tackle, youth mental health issues? You know, addressing youth mental health issues requires a, multi-phase approach that considers the unique needs and challenges. and every person is unique in their style, and they have their potential and limitations. So which kind of emotional support and social environment he is facing in their life. So firstly, we can use early intervention programs at the early stages, early intervention programs, implement early intervention programs in schools, in communities, in families, to identify mental health issues at the early stage. Because when you identify at the early stage, you can use lots of interventions and provide appropriate support and resources. And secondly, mental health education is required at the school level early, and in the families. Incorporate mental health education into school curriculum to promote awareness, understanding, and destigmatization of mental illness from a young age. And access of mental health services, ensure that young people have access to affordable and youth friendly mental health services, including counseling, including therapies, including psychiatric care. So, this may involve expanding school based health centers, community clinics, and telehealth services. And another thing we can do, peer support programs, in schools, in colleges, we can make a peer group, establish peer group programs where young people can connect with and support one another, share their experiences, cooperate to one another, and learn coping strategies from their peers. So, promote resilience and coping skills in them, provide opportunities for young people to develop resilience and coping you know skills through programs focused on mindfulness, stress management, yoga, emotional regulation, problem solving skills, and address social and emotional factors. Always try to address social determinants of mental health, such as poverty or discrimination or bullying or family dynamics and peer pressure, which can contribute to mental health problems among youth. And promote healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle is very essential. All development are related to one another. Physically, we have to be physically fit, mentally fit, emotionally fit. So health lifestyle encourage lifestyle habits such as regular exercise or the balanced diet and good nutrition, adequate sleep, and limiting screen time, which can have a positive impact on mental health. And supportive school environment, supportive home environment, create supportive and inclusive environment that focus mental health and well-being, including providing access to mental health resources, promoting positive relationship among students, and addressing bullying and harassment. And parent and family support, provide support and resources for parents and families to help them recognize and respond to signs of mental health issues in their children, and to create a supportive home environment. And you know and advocacy and awareness, advocate for policies and funding to support young mental health initiatives, and raise awareness, sensitization about the importance of addressing youth mental health issues in the communities. That is very essential. So we can use all those things, holistic approaches, mindfulness and medication, and safe environment, and program. We can organize lots of programs, in service trainings, lots of things we can do. Yes, over to you.
Okay, Professor Zabur, I lost your audio there. I can't hear you anymore. I don't know if our viewers can, but I must really appreciate you for every point that you have raised so far. It is quite pertinent to really note this point, especially the part where you talked about multi-faced approach and looking at the multi-faced approach that can be used to tackle the issue of mental health in the lives of young people. There are a lot of things that we need to encourage in young people, and there are a lot of things we need to also support the young people on concerning the emotional support, the early intervention programs that you mentioned, the access to mental health services. Young people must be given the free access and easy access to be able to uh, access, they must be given the freedom to be able to access mental health services. We should also encourage peer support programs, support groups among young people to be able to support each other emotionally in trying times. And then stress management programs like yoga, exercises, balanced diet, promote healthy lifestyle in them. And I would also like to add that as part of lifestyle modification in young people, we need to discourage them from drug abuse and substance abuse as well. This is part of the lifestyle modification we need to really put our hands on. And you also mentioned something about limiting screen time, which is really very important. Limiting screen time so that they can have enough time to rest and sleep and then manage stress and all that. Thank you very much. I would like to go to our second panelist who is here with us. I don't know if he can hear us. I'm very honored to introduce Ambassador Nihad Raza. He is a school principal. He is also a motivational speaker and a columnist. Raza, I don't know if you can hear us. Please, if you can, kindly say something so that we'll know that you're here with us. Hello, Nahid. Raza, can you hear? Okay, so I guess he still has some issues with his signal. So I would like to come back to you, Professor Mohammed. So building on the points that you've earlier mentioned, let's look at some of the mental health issues that children actually struggle with. You have giving us a very extensive point on how we can tackle these mental health issues in young people. But how do we even know? How do we identify when young people are struggling with their mental health, when they're going through any form of mental health crisis in their life whatsoever? Professor Mohammed, over to you.
Oh, thank you, Mary. It's very important to identify when our child is struggling with mental health issues. Recognizing mental health issues in children can be challenging sometimes, and the symptoms often differ from person to person, and the rate of difficulty and challenges may vary, and in various ways. You can observe, behavioral changes in them. For example, withdrawn or isolated behavior. If your child is avoiding friends, families, or social interaction and social activities they previously enjoyed, but now he is withdrawing or isolated behavior. And changes in sleep patterns, difficulty in sleeping, frequent nightmares or excessive sleeping. And appetite changes, noticeable increase or decrease in appetite. And academic performance, sudden decline in grades or a loss of interest in schoolwork. And frequent physical complaints, persistence, headaches, stomach ache, or any other physical complaints. And secondly, emotional support symptoms, excessive worry and fear, intense and persistence worries, fears, or panic attacks, sadness and depression, and crying or withdrawal from activities they once enjoyed, mood swings, rapid and severe changes in mood in frequent manner, you know low self-esteem, low motivation, expression of worthlessness, or excessive guilt. And behavioral issues, aggression on acting out, unexplained aggression, frequent temper tantrums, defiance, hyperactivity, and low concentration, risky behavior, and self-harm. They are harming themselves. And social science, for example, difficulty with relationship, problems in managing and making new friends, problem in managing relationship with the parents and the colleagues and the siblings, communication difficulties you can observe, and lack of interest in personal care, and tiredness, and health issues, and anxiety disorders like fear, anxiety attacks, and avoidance, and depressive disorders, for example, irritability or loss of interest in activities, and attention deficit hyperdistractive, ADHD, you can say, attention deficit disorder, and autism symptoms, and repetitive behaviors, and eating disorders, and lots of things you can observe in the child, academic performance, or the sadness, or the mood swings, and the communication difficulties, and so we can observe and documentation at the early stage, open dialogue with them, professional evaluation, assessment, we can take the help of multidisciplinary approach. With the help, we can take the help of psychiatrists, we can take the help of doctors, neurologists, school involvement, socialization is important. So lots of things we can do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. That was really amazing. It is really very important for adults to take note of this basic science, major science in their children, in their young people. Even teachers, lecturers in school should be able to identify this withdrawal signs in their students in school to actually ascertain if the student is mentally stable or not. It is important for us to be the ones as adults to look out for the younger ones, and know when they are having these issues. I know of an example of a child that was experiencing severe bullying in school. He was experiencing severe bullying in school, and the parents didn't know, and he was too scared to share his experience with his parents. But one of the tell signs that the parents eventually noticed that made them have an idea of the fact that there might be a problem with his mental health was the fact that he became withdrawn. He became extremely withdrawn. He became extremely anxious. He was dealing with anxiety disorder. He became so isolated. He was always scared, and to crown it all, he was scared to go to school. So he didn't want to mix with his peer group anymore, play with other children because of the bullying that he was experiencing in school, which was grossly affecting his mental health at the time. And so, if parents are too busy, we are in the era of parents being so career conscious. Adults are so career conscious. We have career men and women trying to pay attention to other things that can actually bring in various sources of income and the likes. And then we might get so carried away and forget to actually notice the things we are supposed to notice in children, in young people, in order to ascertain when they are actually struggling with any form of mental health issue whatsoever. So I'd like to see if I can get the attention of Nahid Raza. Nahid, can you hear us, please? Hello, Nahid.
I think he's not listening.
Okay, so I guess he's still having issues with his network over there. Sorry about that. So we continue with the session, and I want to appreciate those who have joined us so far. And I can see a comment from Precious Chide Bube, and the comment says, "Thanks, Sir Mohammed Zubar, for the great insight." So, Professor Mohammed, that's a comment for you. This person is appreciating you for the great insight to everything you have been sharing with us so far on the show. So quickly, let's move on to the next point that we need to check on this episode of the Mind Matters. So we have talked about the tell signs. We've talked about how we can identify children who are struggling with their mental health. So how can we help the child if they are actually struggling with mental health issues? So after identifying all the signs in in a youth, in a child, how do we now help them through it at that stage of their life? How do we help a child who is struggling with any of these mental health issues?
You know, if a child is facing mental health issue, so we have to support in many ways. And supporting a child is struggling with mental health issues can be challenging sometimes. But as a unit, as a we have to work in collaboration with the help of parents, teachers, and other, like special educators, psychiatrists, therapists. Lots of work will be done. Firstly, try to make an open communication. Open communication is important. If a child is struggling with mental health issues, so we have to make a good rapport and connection with them. Open communication, listen actively, encourage your child to express their feelings and thoughts without judgment. Let them know that their feelings are valid, and ask open-ended questions instead of a yes or no or the objective questions. Ask questions that encourage them. Share more, such as, can you tell me more about how you are feeling now? uh, what which kind of sports you like, how you enjoyed your day, what are your interest area. You can ask them. Secondly, educate yourself. Learn about mental health, understand the specific mental health issues your child is facing. So this can help you recognize symptoms and characteristics, the reasons, and understand their experiences better, and stay informed. Keep up with the latest research and information about childhood, and create a supportive environment at home, at school. Provide a stable and predictable environment. Consistent routines can offer a sense of security. Positive reinforcement, motivate them, try to encourage them, and try to increase the self-esteem. And professional help, for example, sometimes we have to take some counseling, sometimes we have to take some therapies, sometimes we have to go to psychiatrist. So for, mental health professionals who specializes in children or adolescents, so collaborate with them, collaborate with the schools, collaborate with professionals, and encourage healthy habits. Physical activity or the regular exercise can help improve mood and reduce anxiety. Good balanced diet with good nutrition, ensure they have a balanced diet. Nutritional deficiencies can sometime, uh, can increase mental health issues. So sleep well. Poor sleep can significantly affect mental health. And teach coping skills, mindfulness, and relaxation. Introduce them to mindfulness, meditation, or breathing exercises to manage stress, and problem solving skills to help them develop strategies to cope with challenges and stressors. And monitor and adjust. Regular check-in, keep an eye on their progress, and any changes in behavior or mood you have to observe at the early stage. Adjust strategies, and model healthy behavior you can use. You can make some support groups. You can avoid stigmatization, normalize mental health, educate others. So lots of things as a parent, as a teacher, we can do, and promote social connection. Engage them in social connection, arrange play dates with peers, with friends, with siblings. Lots of extra co-curricular activities we can organize, art therapy, game therapy, or lots of things we can organize, sports, and set realistic expectations. Recognize the caliber and talent of the child. Recognize and celebrate your child's small achievements, whether it is completing a difficult task or a small task. Focus on effort and create a safe space for them. Provide structure and boundaries for them. Establish clear rules for them, and use lots of aids and strategies. Encourage expressions and promote healthy communication, and motivate them in independent. They can do many things independently. Encourage, they can work independently. Encourage emotional regulation, and encourage healthy expression of emotions. Promote positive self talk, and encourage hobbies and interest, and encourage your child to explore different hobbies and interests, to find activities that they enjoy, and find fulfilling. Support skill development, promote a healthy work life balance, encourage social support, celebrate diversity, and seek resilience and building activities. So lots of things we can do, lots of strategies we can use.
Thank you very much. Indeed, there are a lot of strategies that can be used to help young people who are experiencing mental health issues, how we can help them. Thank you, Professor Ahmed, for Professor Mohammed, for that extensive explanation of how, and I believe people who are watching this show right now, the young people and even parents, teachers, lecturers, mentors, guidance who are watching the show, who should be learning something from what our panelist is sharing with us this evening on how we can help young people to overcome mental health issues. And one major point I have picked from what you have shared with us so far is encouraging healthy communication. Encouraging healthy communication among young people. Parents need to find time to communicate with their children. Parents need to create that rapport, build a good relationship with their children, so that the children will be free, to talk to them anytime. The children will be free, they will not be too scared to talk to their parents. They would want to share everything that's happening in their lives. If they are being bullied, if they are being abused, if they are experiencing low self-esteem, if they are experiencing anxiety, if they are scared of something, if they are not getting good grades in school, if not whatever it is that is going on in their life, if the parent has built a good relationship and communication with the child will be free enough to talk to the parents and express his feelings. And the parents should also give the children free hand to explore their hobbies and their talent. When they do things that they enjoy doing, when they do things that stir up their passion, when they do things that they love, it helps to keep their mind in check. It helps to give them a physical and emotional balance. It helps to create a balance between their physical life and their emotional life, and even their spiritual. There will be this balance when they are actually doing what they really, really love to do. So, on a final note, Professor Mohammed, I'd like you to tell us some things on how we can prevent these mental health issues in young people. How can we help our children to prevent mental health issues? What can we do to what are some of the ways to prevent mental health problems in children?
You know, as I mentioned earlier, that lots of things we can do, lots of ways to prevent mental health problems in children. Firstly, at the early stage of life when they are a student and they have good friends and siblings, so always try to make a good environment for them, a environment, a supportive environment where it is a school or in college or at home. Create a positive environment and understand the child caliber and limitation, and you know promote a healthy relationship with children, as I mentioned. Encourage positive relationship with family, friends and peers. So it is a duty of parents, to promote healthy relationship with their child, provide emotional support, as you mentioned, and reduce feelings of loneliness and isolation. Because if a child is if you will engage them in social work, and he will take part in activities, he will play with friends, he will spend quality time with the family, so definitely the mind will be divert, so he will feel better. So so promote healthy relationship and supportive environment. Secondly, communication, as I mentioned, it is a duty of a teacher to understand the child level and caliber, which kind of problems and symptoms child is facing. So it is the duty of a teacher and parents to identify the problems about the child. Open communication. And thirdly, always try to teach coping skills. For example, relaxation techniques we can teach them, like yoga, like mindful exercise, like some sports, like some problem solving skills. It will manage stress and adversity in them, and encourage uh, children for physical activities and sports. In my opinion, sports play vital role. Physical activities and sports play vital role because it all development are interrelated. If you are physically fit, then your mental health will be definitely uh, will be improved. So regular exercise and sports, you know have been shown to improve mood and reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression in children. Encourage participation in sports, outdoor plays, and physical activities they enjoy according to their interest. Some students can take interest in soccer, some can take interest in cricket, some can take interest in badminton or the any other game. So ensure adequate sleep is also important. Establish a consistent bedtime routine for children and ensure children get enough sleep each night. Lack of sleep can contribute to mood disturbance and behavioral problems. And limit time, screen time, as I mentioned, lots of kids nowadays studying on the laptops and mobiles, and sometimes they are wasting their time on the laptops and mobiles. So set limits on screen time and encourage activities that promote creativity, social interaction, physical activities, or some other things they can do. And a healthy diet for kids: fruits, vegetables, meat, whole grain, everything in a balanced manner, so can positively impact mood and behavior. And lead by example, model healthy behavior and coping strategies for children to emulate. And you can set an example for your kid, and encourage creative expression, and establish routine and structure. Create a predictable daily routine with set meal times, bed times, and times for homework, play, relaxation. Encourage positive self-esteem and body image. Encourage children to cultivate a positive self-image by focusing on their strength and accomplishment rather than their shortcomings. and teach conflict resolution skills to children, help children develop effective communication and conflict resolution skills to navigate interpersonal conflicts and disagreements, constructively, and encourage them to express their feelings, listen actively to others, and seek mutually acceptable solutions, and provide opportunities for social connection, monitor and limit exposure to stressful situations, promote a healthy work-life balance, and seek professional help for kids. If you are facing, if you are observing that your child is facing a problem, seek professional help. you know uh, persistent signs of mental health issues such as prolonged sadness, anxiety, impulsiveness, or behavioral issues, so we can take the professional help.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Mohammed, for everything you have shared with us this evening. You have really shared from your wealth of experience as an educationist that you are dealing with special students, in special education. You have really shared from your experience, and we've learned a lot from you this evening. It is very important for parents to create a positive and enabling environment for children to be able to explore so that we can prevent any form of mental health issues in them. If they grow up in a positive environment, devoid of abuse, devoid of violence, it would help their psyche. It will help them emotionally and psychologically as they grow. And of course, creating a balance for them, good communication, very important. Helping them to explore their talent and passion, very important. And also helping them to limit screen time. And I also want to add that it is important for us to encourage young people to have more social interactions and social gathering than online interaction and online gathering. These days, young people spend most of their time on the internet, on social media, and then it affects their social relationship. you know Human beings are social beings. We are supposed to interact with our fellow human, physically. It helps us psychologically. It helps us create a mental health balance. But children nowadays have more time interacting online, which in turn affects their physical interaction with fellow humans and their peers, their friends. They lack physical interaction, they lack the knowledge of social interaction, and they interact more on social media. And social media actually also comes with its own challenges to that in so many ways to affect them mentally. So our time is already fast spent. I would like us to round up right now. But before we go, I'd like to give your last word of advice to parents, to lecturers, to guardians, to teachers out there who are watching this show. Can you please give us some few words of advice, your last word of advice before we end the show this evening?
uh, you know if a child are struggling with mental health issues, uh, you know you can take lots of help from the physicians, pediatricians, and other school counselors, mental health professionals, and support groups. And lots of school counselors are working really well for them, and lots of psychiatrists are doing great job for them. And identify at the early stage is important, because when you will identify at the early stage, it will be easy for the professionals to manage them. And collaborative work, it's a collaborative work with the help of parents, teachers, doctors, and individualized treatment. Every child have their unique potential and limitations, so it vary from person to person. So preventive measures we have to taken, and family involvement is very essential. And Evidence-based practice is required for kids. Firstly, identify the problem, the reason of the problem. So evidence is important. The assessment process is important. We have to identify the problem, and then we have to give them intervention. Self care for caregivers, and parenting education is important. So as in the so as we draw this session, in this session I would like to say, in our journey together we have learned that mental health is not just the absence of illness, but a state of overall wellness where we can thrive emotionally, psychologically, and socially. So each one of us faces our own unique challenges and experiences, but what unites us is you know in this what we can do. So as we part ways today, you know may we be kind to ourselves and do others, and may we seek help when we need it and offer support when it's need, as a parent or as a teacher. So and may we never we can never underestimate and underestimate the power of our voices and actions. So you know the collaboration, the early identification, and the support is required. So always make a good connection with your kid, understand their potential and skills and limitations, and make a good connection with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for making our time to join us on today's episode of GYMHA Mind Matters Talk Show. And I'll also like to say thank you to Inga Sasaville from Georgia. Thank you for joining the show. He dropped a comment, great from Georgia. And also Precious Jide Bube, thank you for also joining the show. And every one of you who has joined the show, and those of you who are still going to watch this show on our platform later on. And of course, I'd like to remind you that we are doing a very wonderful job at GYMHA Global Youth Mental Health Awareness. And this is an organization that is calling on young people and adults who is interested in supporting others in their mental health journey. So please join us. You can join us as a volunteer. You can do stuff with us. You can follow us on all our social media handles, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. It's Global Youth Mental Health Awareness Initiative, GYMHA. You can join us and even check our website and see how you can collaborate with us, partner with us, on our programs. And we need more hands, as many of us as we can join our heads together and put our voices together to advocate for mental health in our society. So till I come your way again on the next episode of GYMHA Mind Matters Talk Show. Thank you, Professor Mohammed, for joining today's show. I believe when next we call on you, you will definitely oblige us.
Yeah,
So
it's my
sure,
pleasure.
sure. Thank you. So, yes, you're welcome. So, on behalf of all the management of GYMHA, I'd like to say thank you for watching and join us again next time. My name remains Mary Ozuruonye Agholor, your regular moderator on this show of GYMHA Mind Matters. But before then, I want you to stay positive and keep your spirits alive. Keep communicating and stay positive. You will definitely achieve whatever you set your mind to achieve in maintaining a good mental health stability. Thank you and God bless you.